Are you sitting comfortably? Are you sitting comfortably? Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin.
And now for something completely different.
What is happening, my fellow dreamwalkers? So it's another day, another dream. Wasn't quite planning on doing this just yet, but the old hospital dream has reared its ugly head again. This is one that I have a lot. I'm sure I'm not the only one, but you ever find yourself lost in a hospital? Man, I feel like I've had so many of these. It's a pretty regular theme in my dream journeys, I guess you could say. I often find myself in some sort of a hospital. It's usually busy and crowded and foreign and strange things going on. I'm usually trying to work my way through some sort of strange place I've never been. I'm going in and out of different rooms. I'm going in at lower levels in the basement. Sometimes there's people there that I know, sometimes not. It's usually generally not a very happy experience. So yeah, that's something that I have often, like probably more than 3 or 4 times a week. And you know, if I do my digging on it, I have no shortage of hospital trauma buried in the back of my head. Growing up, my dad was pretty sick. He really struggled with Crohn's disease, and he spent a lot of time in the hospital having surgeries and trying to recover. That was tough as a kid, having to go visit him there. You know, your dad's supposed to be the strong patron of the family, the one that's in charge, that's gonna keep you safe and protected and all that. And I can't imagine how scary that must have been for him, all that time he spent in the hospital. I do carry some guilt that I didn't visit often enough. It was hard, but now I think how alone he must have been there, and that must have been very difficult. Just before the whole pandemic situation, I had to spend a number of hospital visits getting assorted tests and things. I struggled with kidney stones and had some terrible procedures and tests done. And my local hospital, that's where my doctor likes to send me for all sorts of tests, even though there's x-rays and ultrasound clinics right in her office. I don't get it, but to go to this hospital, I mean, it's an old hospital, be early 1900s, I would guess, and it's right out of a Stephen King novel. You know, the old dark brick buildings with dark corners and old tile, and just, I don't know, it's it is what it is. I mean, I get triggered as soon as I walk into the place. I mean, in addition to the environment and the, I don't know, pathetic fallacy, if you want to call it that. It's not weather, but just the whole scene is just awful. And so, but I think there's a lot of things that linger in these places too. Between old spirits that are lost, between hungry ghosts that feed on fear and suffering, and I don't know, you have to wonder how many demons are lingering in places like this. So yeah, I don't see the happy side of our hospitals and medical institutions, I guess you could say that, and it really does haunt my dreams. I spend way too much time lost in these places, trying to escape these places. There was one that I had, the one that I had today just really struck with me, and I wasn't really planning on talking about this, but it's been haunting me all day, as you could say, so let's get it out, and maybe I'll put it behind me now. So in this particular dream, I was in a hospital, and I was lying in a hospital bed. The hospital bed was in the hallway. Lots of people were moving about. You know, you're just kind of in the middle of the way. But one woman was trying to walk past the hospital bed, and she was blind, and, you know, trying to feel her way through the hallway. She accidentally put her hand on my head, and intending to move on, it was almost like she got stuck. Like, I guess she was reading I guess in addition to being blind, or in spite of, she was an empath. So I think when she touched my head, she was able to read me, and she suddenly realized, I guess she could see my pain. She could read my pain. You know, she was reading the hurt part of my soul, I guess you could say. And then I just started bawling. In the dream, I was crying. It was so intense, and I think part of that was having this woman be able to see me, like truly see me for my pain that I, you know, do my best to hide, I suppose. Yeah, just something about being seen in that moment, being so vulnerable and feeling so hurt, having someone without the gift of vision be able to see on such a deeper soul level, and then she was so moved by what I was feeling, she wasn't able to continue moving on. It was almost like there was like a magnet that had her hand stuck on my head, and she couldn't pull away from the heavy emotion. And then that was when I woke up, and it was intense. I was soaked the bed. Not, you know, I didn't wet the bed. I soaked, you know, sweated from the night terror. It was intense. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, you could sort of certainly read into that it was I have a need to be seen or heard, and it felt good to have that happen. I don't know that will be any kind of an end to my lost in the hospital dream, but I don't usually have such a profound finish on that dream, so maybe it's some sort of a new resolution, and just sort of thinking about it and working through it might help put it to bed. We'll see. The Schumann frequencies are still raging right now, so that's spiking. If you're sensitive to energy, I've started looking at the Schumann frequencies when I've had these more intense dreams, and there does seem to be at least a subtle correlation between intense dreaming periods and intense earth energies from the sun. So do what you need to do. Do your grounding. Make sure you get outside with your bare feet on the ground at least once or twice a day. Get a breath of fresh air. Maybe a salt soak. New moon's coming up. That's always a little rough for me. I feel moon powered, so new moon's a little low. The batteries are a little low, but it's the time to rebuild, focus on new beginnings, new projects, new creations, plant a seed. Yeah, that's all I've got on this wintry night. Have a great weekend, y'all.